Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Purple Thunderbird and I'm here to talk about my Woosperience with astrology. Oh boy, do I love astrology. My whole outlook on everything that is changed once I started studying astrology. But oh my gosh, did I ever get triggered and stuck on things that I didn't want to look at in the beginning. Like my Venus being in Pisces. I ain't no damn romantic, which is what Venus rules, is love connection, and paired with Pisces being the dreamer, it can indicate a high priority on all-consuming romantic partnerships. But I found out that it's so much more than that. And that's the message that I want to convey, is that astrology is so much more than reading your horoscope in the newspaper. If you have all the information around where and when you were born, astrology can be super enlightening on everything about you. As psychologist Jennifer Freed would say, it's a map to your soul. I haven't actually read this whole book, just FYI, I got it during my phase of getting hung up on small and irrelevant details about my astrological chart that I was offended by. I'm really glad that I kept coming back to astrology, even though I took it so personally at first. It ended up being my greatest tool and ally in understanding myself. To back it up a little bit, from a young age, I thought astrology was nonsense, although I always did seem to connect with the descriptions around my Pisces sun sign, which is what a regular horoscope will usually tell you is your sun sign only, or which slice of the sky the sun was in at the moment of your birth. So I did describe myself as a Piscean for the most part. There was always a little bit of the description that didn't quite fit. And there being only 12 signs, that would make everyone walking around being only allowed to have one of 12 personalities. Not even. But as I stumbled my way through life and started allowing myself to connect with my cultural heritage as well as the woo-woo side of things, I started having a change of heart. And honestly, reaching into my indigenous roots laid such a beautiful foundation for supporting connection to my spirit and respecting Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, and the stars as all my relations. Also, thank you, Colette Baron Reed and the Tarot, for further ushering me to look more into astrology as well. Wonderful resources. The first thing that shocked me about astrology was that we have a whole birth chart where your exact time and place of birth are absolutely required. Thank goodness my birth time was recorded in a few different places, including a cross-stitched baby gift that my neighbor did for us. Can you say fate? I do have to add, though, that sometimes hospitals tend to round to the nearest 5-minute mark because, sometimes it's hard to keep track of things when there's bodily fluids getting flung around. And unfortunately, that can really mess with the chart, and then you might need a real pro astrologer to rectify the chart. I don't think that's my case, at least I hope not. I do resonate with my chart. It would appear that plus or minus 5 minutes for me doesn't seem to affect a whole lot anyway. So this brings me to reading my chart. Of course, I have done a lot of research on how to interpret it. These are only the stack of books that I could find at the moment. Turns out we can have way more than 12 personalities. There's an infinite number of them. So I really do recommend getting a pro or intuitive to do a chart reading. I ended up giving in and getting an intuitive reading, and it was the best decision I ever made because I'm very good at not looking at what needs my attention. So with all my reading, YouTube videos, podcasts, consultations, and occasionally ChatGPT, I have been able to understand why I am the way I am for the most part and know that it was meant to be that way. The astral bodies told me so. Astrology gave me permission to be my true self. But not to use this as an excuse, though. We are still sovereign beings that have the power of choice, regardless of what the stars say. Astrology, again, is a tool, and it's how we use it that produces the piece of artwork that we are. Venus and Pisces, there you are again. Hopeless and creative romantic. Honestly, I could talk and talk about astrology, but I will wrap it up shortly. I'd like to revisit this subject on another video because it's a crazy broad subject, and I would love to talk more about the specifics such as the big three, the sun, moon, and ascendant placements, as well as the North Node, since I recently came to understand that my purpose is to help other people find their purpose. And that's what the North Node is. It's a way to understand our own karmic unfolding and our life path. For this video though, I really want to emphasize how pivotal it was for me to understand my chart in my personal development journey. If anyone is seeking their purpose as hard as I have been my whole life, I highly suggest getting a chart reading if you're able to figure out the time that you were born. Now, I didn't get a straight answer, obviously, otherwise I'd be millions rich already, but it gave me clues on how to find peace within myself and to be okay that I'm not okay all the time. I mean, having a 1-year-old going on to 17 keeps me revisiting my own angry little inner child. I'm not going to be okay sometimes. But I've gotten to the place where I can accept that having these human moments is just part of the journey. That reminds me of a quote that a dear friend just reposted from Eckhart Tolle. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. The moment you completely accept your non-peace is transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender. And that's what astrology's been for me. It's been the surfboard I've ridden on the riptides of life towards surrender. That and everything else woo-woo that I've experienced in my life. Anyway, that's enough for now. Love you guys.